Last season, Death Battle revealed several future fighters for the current one that we're in right now. As of now, the only fighters yet to appear have been Beerus and Crona.
And while I've already done a video on Beerus,
this is the video on Crona. I'm going to be quickly talking about the possible opponents for Crona from Soul Eater, but just hold on a moment. I'm only going to be talking about a few opponents. There might be some pretty glaring omissions from this video, and the reason for that is that I'm splitting the load between myself and Biffweed. It makes it easy for the both of us, and hey, go check out his stuff, I recommend it. My Beerus video has 4 times the views his does, and that is not okay. I told you guys to check it out, and you fucking didn't. Go check out Biffweed. Do it! He uses the time meme. Go fucking do it! So let's get into Crona's opponents. How much I like the matchup, and how likely I think it is. Also, I want to point out that whenever I refer to Crona with a pronoun, the pronoun will be they. The subject of Crona's gender isn't something I want to go into, as in the actual manga. In Japanese, Crona is referred to by gender-neutral terms that don't exist in English. I'm going to refer to them as they. I feel like it would be demeaning and he would be a bit inaccurate, so I'm just going to go with they. Also, it means I can address Ragnarok at the same time.
VENOM!
Crona vs. Venom is probably the less popular of the symbiote matchups for Crona, but it's not impossible. Both are just regular people, regular by their world standards, who have a symbiotic relationship with a really powerful entity that is in their body. The matchup makes some sense, but honestly, I don't care about it. I mean, Crona literally just has a screaming sword. Oh, that's fair, isn't it? I don't see this being very likely. They've already had Venom, and yeah, they do like to bring characters back sometimes, but Venom's most requested fight was Bane, so I don't see him returning anytime soon.
Space Godzilla!
This one is extremely thematic. Both have things related to them that are related to Crona, both fight the main protagonist, and both see with eyes on their heads. It's a very thematic matchup, and honestly, the similar sizes between the characters and the fact that they both often fight by hitting their opponents really works for a creative matchup. 10 out of 10, I think this one is extremely likely. Kaneki. Now this is where I have to tell Biffweed to go fuck himself, because I let him choose who he wanted to talk about, and I'm stuck with characters I don't know anything about. You should go over to his channel to tell them that he's Smell and that Cyclops vs. Grifter should be in Death Battle. Alright, I don't know anything about Ken, so I can't say if it's fair or if it's thematic. It looks like, I think he's got some shit in his body, so like I guess it is a little bit thematic, and he does look very much Edge. So what I can say is that, yeah, maybe. Also, Ben Singer has expressed interest in using Tokyo Ghoul in Death Battle apparently, but I don't think this necessarily confirms the matchup. After all, they had all of these matchups planned in advance, especially Crona's, because they were part of the big thing at the end of Season 6. So if he expressed recently that he'd be interested in bringing Tokyo Ghoul in, it's not impossible that he only just checked it out, and he wouldn't just scrap an existing episode to make Crona vs. Ken. Though it is also possible that he is just foreshadowing the matchup. I don't know. I don't know anything about Ken. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Ken would be like a fucking solar system buster. Shinichi, Izumi. God damn it, Biff! I know shit about Parasite. I guess from the name of the series, this guy's got a parasite in his body and he can use it to fight. Oh yeah, it's plausible for this fight to happen. I don't know enough to say yes or no. I can't say if I like it or not. I mean, maybe it'll actually convince me to go watch Parasite. I've got it on Blu-ray. It's one of the many series I have on Blu-ray that I've yet to watch. Crona's island level though, so they probably win. I don't know if Shinichi is that level high. How will I know?
Black Bolt.
Ha ha ha! Because Black Blood and Black Bolt, and both of them scream. Ben expressed interest in bringing Black Bolt on in Death Battle cast, so it's definitely legit possible. Totally. This is almost as likely as versus Space Godzilla. Astolfo! Why? Is it just because they're pink-haired and have ambiguous genders that people often assume wrong? I don't get it. I've heard Astolfo is island level like Crona, so maybe it could be a fairly good matchup. But like, could you imagine if the first fake character in Death Battle is an Archer, Saber, or Archer, and it's fucking Rider of Black? Yeah, I don't think this is likely. I mean, I don't mind Astolfo, personally. I have nothing against Astolfo. I think the interactions between Astolfo and Charlemagne in, I don't remember what game it was it Grand? One of the games is really funny. But I almost don't want Death Battle to touch Fate, because I feel like they'll fuck it up. SHIRO! And finally, a fairly likely matchup, Crona versus the wretched egg herself, SHIRO. Now, to my knowledge, the main connection with these two is that they weaponize their blood. And I guess 2 minds if you go with SHIRO and the wretched egg against Crona and Ragnarok, maybe? I don't find it that interesting, because I don't think it's that thematic. I could easily be missing things here. SHIRO and Crona weren't my favorite characters from their series. But, I mean, you know, SHIRO made an earthquake, so maybe that could be calced and make it fair, I guess. I don't know, it's possible, but I do think Ken Kaneki is more likely. The problem with SHIRO is that she's, I mean, well, first off, she's from a new series, and there's the same problem with Ken. I mean, even if we include Soul Eater, this season's only had 4 new series, so, you know, I don't know. It is plausible, I just think Ken's got a better chance. So, that didn't take long, but honestly, unlike with Beerus, I really don't have a lot to say about any of these. Between them, the most likely is Ken. The reason I say this is that Ben has actually acknowledged that Tokyo Ghoul exists, which I don't think is as damning evidence as most people do, but I do think it makes it a little more plausible. Venom, Shinichi, and SHIRO are also all possible, but Ken seems to just be the most likely. Aside from another character that I've purposely not brought up here. Wait, but there is one more possibility.
Ryuga, the Dragon Emperor and greatest anime character of all time! Go El Drago! Ryuga versus Crona for Death Battle! Ryuga versus Goku for Death Battle! Ryuga versus Death Battle! Let's go El Drago!
Beyblade. Fuck. Oh, Ryuga just gave me the virus.
A new power that is not the dark power. What do you mean? What is it? Tell me now!
That's a pretty nice toy you've got there, my friend. A toy, you say?